think it's recording. Okay. So, when we take a look at number 31, what we want to look at is the lines that are creating the angles. Okay? So right now, I can see that these two parallel lines are part of these angles. Alright? They're part of these angles that make up the x plus 101. Right? So I can tell that's part of them, right? And what else is part of them is this line. Right? And so then I have to go, well, what is the relationship here? And I was talking to someone earlier about this, and they were like, I just don't get it. I remember the rules, right? They're same side, and they're interior. But like, how do you know when they're equal or if they add to be 180, right? And so what I like to do, first of all, whenever you have just these two lines, try to erase this line. Try to just not look at it. Because that line's not part of it. They're just throwing that line in there to mess with your head. Okay? Secondly, they're making this go straight up and down to also mess with your head. So what I suggested was that they take two lines and look at it like this. And then think, oh, wait a minute. If I have this angle, right? If I have this angle right here, that's an acute angle, right? That one's smaller than 90 degrees. Does that make sense? Okay? And then I have this angle. And that angle is obtuse, right? And that angle is bigger than 90 degrees, right? So there's no way that those things are equal. Does that make sense? So what do you suppose same side interior, what do you think the rule is going to be? If they're not equal, right, then they have to what? As long as these two lines are parallel, what's the two rules? They're either congruent or they supplementary. They add to be 180, right? So which do you think these are? One of them's obtuse, one of them's acute. Do you think they're congruent? Do you think they're equal? No. So they must add to be 180, right? They must add to be 180. Doesn't that make sense? Okay? So, at that point, then we know that x plus 101 plus x plus 101 is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Side, interior, right? Side, interior. Remember, we have certain rules now, right? We have the side, interior, side, exterior, right? Those are 180 degrees. And then we have alternate interior, alternate exterior, and then the hard one corresponding, which is really side, interior, exterior, right? Okay? And so those are all congruent, right? So these are congruent. These are 180. I know this must be 180. This is another way to get me to remember it, okay? Okay? So that if you're stuck on a test, especially on the state test or on a SAT or ACT, you can remember it by just drawing yourself a little picture. Oh yeah, if they're parallel, these inside ones, right? And the same way, it's like, hey, these are congruent also, right? They're vertical. But on the same aspect, aren't those congruent? Alternate exterior? You see what I'm saying? All those red ones are congruent, and all the green ones are congruent. Does that make sense? Okay? And that could help you draw it out when you're on the test and you're not quite sure. You're like, oh, all the big ones are the green ones, all the little ones are the red ones, right? And so the red ones are all congruent, and the green ones are all congruent. That's all. As long as these are parallel, right? Parallel means a double arrow, right? Okay, so that's your first one, right? Given that line 1 was parallel to line 2, right? That's given. Okay, so that's what they told you, right? These two are parallel. And that's how you came up with it. Okay, now what? What's x plus x? X plus 1 plus 1. Come on, people. I know it's almost lunch. We're all hungry. But 1 plus 1 equals, thank you, 2x, right? And 101 plus 101 is Brian. 101 and 101. Jasmine. Yes, 202. Come on, people. I know you know this. This is where Anchetta was like, you must do miracles over there. Because I'm always hearing you be like, and 2 plus 3 is 5. Great job. Like, really? And they can pass the state test? And that's all I ever hear you do over there. And I'm like, yeah, well, I do screen those things a lot, but I don't get a lot of feedback, right? Okay, so what's that called when we just simplify those things? Simplify those things, yeah. You get what I'm laying down for you? Okay, then what? How do I solve? Anna, how am I going to move the 202 away from x? Just to subtract the 200, right? Okay, so subtract 202, subtract 202, right? So I get 2x is equal to what? So if we think 180 to 200 would be 20, right? And then 2 more after that. So 22, right? And what's that called? What? Yes. Of equality. Yes. Oh, what? All right. Whoa. We're going. Now what? Anyone? Someone? I got to get that x alone. If it's multiplying by 2, then I got to divide. That's it. Divide by 2. Right? And so I get x is equal to how much?
11.
Boom. And what property is that?
Divide.
That's it. Cakewalk, right? But we're not done until we what? We got to plug it in, right? It doesn't matter which one we plug it in because they're both the same. Although, that's weird that they're both the same, right? Because they're supposed to be supplementary. So what do you suppose they're going to equal if they're both the same and they're supplementary? Take a wild guess. What two numbers are equal but also supplementary? I'm not doing the robot here.
Equal.
Right? perpendiculars, right? So 90 degrees. So let's see, is that right? Well, oh, this was supposed to be negative 22, right? So this should be negative 11, correct? That's where we messed up. And now when we plug that in to x plus 101, and the x is how much? Negative 11. What does that equal? 90 degrees. So that angle that we're looking for is 90 degrees. And I could have come up with that logically because I could have said two numbers that both are the same because they're exactly the same, right? And are supplementary have to be 90 degrees, right? That's the definition of a right angle, right? Two right angles create 180 degrees or supplementary angles, right? Okay? So, that means that this is perpendicular. And that's huge. That's huge. Maybe not for this problem, right? But for another problem down the road, okay? Does that make sense? When you have multiple problems in one problem, okay? Is it still going? Yeah? Questions? No? Yeah? We're good?